Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It is Wednesday, I think. I've got absolutely no idea what it is, if I'm honest. I've no idea what day it is. It's not freaking Tuesday, so there you go. Thought it was Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Close enough. Shift work shafts your head when you get back into it. Anyway, I'm going to be using this soap based on a request from Brandon191, or Brandon, I believe it would most likely be, unless his name's totally different to what he's got on YouTube. And he asked for this Wickham Soap Company 1912 Scottish heather. Now, I've used this a couple of times. I should really use it more because I love these type of scents. Now, it is very earthy, peaty, sort of dark scent with a slight sweetness to it. It's almost like, it sounds daft, and to me, I know it's called Scottish heather, but it does actually smell quite, takes me back to Scotland when I smell it. It feels like I used to live in a little village, and the smell round about the village when it didn't smell of cow shit and dung and sheep shit, it smelled quite similar to this. And we had heather everywhere. The heather was just growing all over the hills, all over everywhere. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see, especially when it all flowered. But yeah, it's a beautiful scented soap. As with pretty much every Wickham soap, it sits around about a 5 out of 10 in scent strength. And if you watch my channel for long enough now, you know I use them quite a bit. And they lather up as good as pretty much any soap out there and perform as good as most soaps. The brush for today is the Morrison Fordran 3-band Blonde Badger. Now this one, I believe, is completely made by Lee Sabini in England. So this one, I know it says made in England, handmade in England. I know they all say that when they've got his knot in there, but this one I believe was actually hand turned by him as well. As you can see, the gel tips on this brush are phenomenal. Pretty much every single hair fibre on this brush has split and hooked, and it looks incredible and it feels amazing on the face, but it just sheds quite a lot. It's quite a shedder of a knot. I'm just going to do the tips of it. So here we go, straight into the dry soap. Now this is the first brush that I used that really taught me about flow through, but how it actually works. It flows through from the top of the knot through to the base, comes out the sides, and then you scoop it off onto your face or however you want to do it. But it was the first time where I really actually experienced it and how to use flow through. And now I notice it on pretty much every brush that I use, whether it be natural hair or synthetic. And to most people it is the sign of a good knot if the flow through is good. If it's got no flow through, what happens is all your lather just sits inside the knot and doesn't come out. Right, so I think we've got an absolute shit ton of soap there. It's well loaded, it's right through to the base of the knot. Wet the face. And I'm just going to scoop all the excess suds from the tubs. Now, Wickham soap is actually quite a firm soap. It's not a, you know, if you buy a tub of it, it's going to last you a while. It's not cropish. It's cropish being a sort of creamy soap. Like, it's firm, but it's still soft to the touch. This stuff is harder. It's not triple milled hard, but it is a firmer soap. Right, so here we go. We've got the loaded Morrison Fordran brush. I've got a bit of the shakes. I've just had a coffee, so coffee does that to me. Paint the load on. Now the sun's not out today, so this might be a little bit darker on the camera, but I'm just going to wing it. I'm not going to turn the lights on. Just a bit tips. As you can see, it's a 28mm knot, but it doesn't have a big splay. It's a really dense, short lofted knot. as you can see, it whips up a phenomenal lather. So that all there, all around the outsides, is all pretty much flow through. As you can see, there's loads of it, and all you do is just paint it all over. So when you mix a lather in a bowl, that's pretty much what the bowl catches it. It catches all that flow through off the sides of your brush and holds it in the bowl a bit better. When you face lather, you've got to sort of apply it from the brush onto your face, and you end up with a lovely creamy lather like that. Now, I'm using the Muhle R89 today, brand new blade in here, and the blade I'm using is an Askell. Now, I've got the red packets. The red packet blades, I believe, is basically similar to the feather. The red ones come in packs of 10, I think, and the orange ones come in packs of 5, but they're the same blade. So here we go. I like the Askell blades, they're pretty good blades, but I have to say in this razor it's not as smooth feeling as it feels in other razors for me. It feels a little bit, not rough, just not as smooth. Now, these blades are relatively sharp, as in more towards the feather side of sharpness. Which is nice. The scent on the soap is lovely. It's a really nice, it's a warming scent, so it's not a scent really that I'd be using in the peak of summer on 40 degree days. It's certainly when cooler weather comes in, it does warm you up a bit, makes you feel a little bit warmer. And for me, it is a homely sort of scent in terms of where I come from originally. Not homely as in where I live now, but homely as in Scotland, and it does have that sort of scent about it. And it still amazes me that these artisans like Darren, like Barrister Man, Lather Bros, can get the scent of like a field or a football pitch or a mountainside. You know, it's just amazing that they can get that scent into a soap. And look, don't get me wrong, it's not something everyone's going to like, but it's certainly a very pleasant scent for me, and it's a memory jogger. So look at all this, look. Now this brush has gotten better since I got it. When I first got it, I think it's probably shed over 100 odd hairs now, which for me is pretty average. I mean, if it was a cheap synthetic, I would probably have ripped the knot out by now and thrown it away. But the problem is, this knot is absolutely beautiful. And I have been offered from Lee Sabini to have it re-knotted with the same knot. But because this one is so good, I don't want to lose it. So I'm just going to use it until it dies, and then likely re-knot it then. Right, pass number 2 should be across the grain, and here we go. Alright, I'm back. That was just my alarm going off to wake me up, believe it or not, just in case I slept in. So the new job so far has been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. Blokes that I've worked with are top blokes, and women. I've met the women, but I haven't worked with them yet. But so far, so good. Right, let's just into the sink because it's pretty full of soap and hair and all that shit. See, I have to say, I've been sort of struggling to pull together a video when I'm working this. The job I do it's not really a physical job in a sense, but you stood up and walking pretty much the whole shift. Just to give you an idea, on Friday, Saturday night, I started at 4 in the afternoon, finished at 3 in the morning, and over the course of the 2 nights I walked 29 kilometres just on those together, not each night, but together 29 kilometres. Which is a fair old bit of walking. And I'm not grumbling at all because it's excellent for your fitness and your physical health. And you get paid for it. You get paid to keep fit, essentially. As long as you eat right, which I try to do, or my wife sort of tries to make me do. Here we go, ladder number 3. For the third and final full pass before we clean up around the lips. The face feel on this brush is just outstanding. It's so dense but so soft. It's got amazing scrub. There's no scratchiness from this knot at all. And as you can see from one load, I'm still creating loads of lather with ease. I'm just going to add a bit of water, it's a little bit dry. Right, so here we go, across the grain, other direction, using Wickham 1912 Scottish heather. Now I think the last scent that Darren from Wickham Soaps released was a rose scent. Now, I'm not a big rose fan at all, I think it's a horrible scent. When I used to go to my grand's house when I was a kid, that was all she used, was rose water and rose petals and rose, and everything stunk of rose. I hated it. Horrible scent. But the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Darren will have mixed that rose soap and done something amazing with it and made a scent which I can't stand normally. And it's something I could probably tolerate. It's not a scent I live by. Slickness on Wickham, it really is an amazing performing soap. For me, anyway. I love the post-shave feel. Post-shave feels very moisturised. And the balms, I've only got one balm, Club Cola. The balms are excellent. You can see that. Right, just clean up around the lips. What a shave. Now, I did do my Manchester United shave yesterday, which was a bit late, but having finished work, I came home, watched the Manchester United Arsenal game, which we won 2-1 in the last, or the second last minute of the game. So I was over the moon. So I had my shave for Manchester United yesterday, which I was actually going to do on video, but you guys are probably sick of the soap by now. And I was just struggling with tiredness. Still trying to get my head around shift work again. It's been a long time. And the shifts that I do aren't even really that bad. They're generally afternoon shifts or evening shifts on the weekend. So I don't do any real night shifts at all. So the latest I finish is 3 in the morning. Yeah, so there's a hair already. But that knot is absolutely beautiful. You can actually see how dense it is when you flick it. It all flicks to one side. That's cleaned out. I didn't think that would clean out so easily. That's probably the easiest I've been able to clean that brush out, but the actual splay on the brush, or the bloom on the brush, when you've just dried it, is massive. I mean, that's a one dense knot. It looks phenomenal. I'll just rinse the soap out. don't think I've got any real weakness or anything. I think, is that one there? No, just a few little red spots here and there. I've had a little bit of irritation over the past couple of shaves, so I have been left with a few little bits here and there that are just a little bit sore. But you've got to shave for work, so I might grow a beard over the 2 weeks that I'm off. So Wickham 1912 Scottish Heather, and it's an absolutely beautiful soap, it really is. That's the ingredients list right there. This was batch number 80. Yeah, there's almost a peppery hint to it as well, a little bit of sort of peppery scent to it as well. It's really nice, a very well blended, beautiful scented soap, and it performs exceptionally well. The brush, which I've showed you several times now, was the Morrison Fordran 3-band blonde badger, handmade in England. Beautiful little brush, it really is. And it is little, it's a tiny little stubby handle on it, there's not much of it, and I paid quite big dollars for it, excuse me, just to try a premium badger knot as it is. And the knot itself is phenomenal, loses a lot of hair, but it's a phenomenal knot, and I understand now why people go for premium badger knots. You will pay a bit more, but you'll get slightly better. It's not a massive difference. I've got cheap West Coast shaving knots in there, silver tips, and I've got 2-band finest, which is phenomenal. So it's not a massive jump in difference, but you do feel it, you do notice it. Muhle R89, which is a stunning razor made by Muhle, and it is a 3-piece razor, and I've got a brand new Asco blade in there, which I might use again. It feels pretty good, it's pretty smooth. I struggled at the beginning with it, but I think I'm alright now. So, post shave, the feel from Wickham is something that you don't get from many other soaps, if I'm honest. My skin feels silky smooth, almost like satin or silk, but it's moisturised. I can feel it's moisturised. It's not tight, it's not dry feeling, it's very moisturised, but it's got that beautiful satin silky feel, which is really nice, and not a lot of products give you that. This product as well gives you that, so that's why I'm pairing it up with this one today. Herb Aftershave Conditioner. This stuff can only be described as the mutt's nuts, the dog's bollocks, the dog's danglies, whatever you want to call it. In my opinion, one of the best, if not at least the best mass-produced balm from a company over in India, and very difficult to get hold of unless you order it directly from India, but highly worth it. It goes a long way. I've used that pretty exclusively now for a few months, with the odd sort of thing thrown in between to mix it up a bit, but it's amazing. As I said, it's absorbed now. My skin feels beautiful, supple and soft. What a shave. So Brandon, that was for you, mate. Wickham 1912 Scottish Heather. It's a great soap. I know you won one in a recent competition, and I'm not sure whether you've got it yet or not, but when you get it, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you like those sort of earthy, grassy, woody, smoky, peppery sort of scents with a hint. That's got a hint of sweetness and a very light floral through it to give that sort of, just that really nice, you can't describe it. If you ever go to Scotland, you'll know what I mean. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys either tomorrow or Thursday for probably one of the last shaves for a couple of weeks while I'm recovering from my operation on Friday. I'll just need to see how I go in terms of the operation. Depends how soon I get back in the camera. So, see you guys next time. Cheers.